So here's the deal. If you've ever been working in a space for any extended period of time, you start looking at things that work for you and then the things that don't work for you. One of the things that really hasn't worked for me in the last 18 months, believe it or not, is this ceiling. Now I know you're thinking to yourself, Steve, it's a ceiling, who cares, it's fine, but there's a couple things about it that make me go, I need to tear this ceiling down. And believe it or not, it's not just for aesthetic purposes. So here's what we're gonna do today. We are gonna tear down this ceiling, and let me tell you why. First off, let's talk the aesthetics. It looks terrible. It was a ceiling that was outside, exposed to the elements for probably the last 20 years. So in that regard, it's kind of on its last legs anyway. There's a lot of areas where the tape is falling down, things are falling off. Many holes are in it because of where we had to do patchwork. It's got a terrible texture, but that in and of itself is not a reason enough to take this ceiling down. This is a lot of work. I have three other main reasons that really are driving this. One, I do want to get that garage door wire run. Fishing it through just did not work no matter what my attempts were, so I was like, should I reroute this around? It would look kind of bad, but that would make it work. I'd like to get that taken care of. Two, the lighting in here just isn't very good. There is one fluorescent bulb and then the garage light itself, and it really would give me an opportunity to change up the lighting, make it a little bit nicer for when both the garage door is closed and the garage door is open. And three, really the driving factor of this whole thing is I have a really expensive CO2 laser up in my office that I'd really like to get up and running. And to do that, I need an additional plug. Bottom line is, when you combine all four of those things together, to me, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it really just makes sense. So I don't want to do it. Let's be real. It's just one of those things where you know if you do projects long enough, there are going to be ones that come along that you're just like, I need to do this. I don't want to do this, but I'm excited for the end result because it's going to be great. It's just going to be painful along the way. And when I say painful, I do mean painful because here's the deal. I got a lot of beer bottles up. I have got wood. I've got a whole front half of a garage, about 400 square feet, that needs to get cleared away for the most part so I can make way for demolition and then hauling in the sheetrock and an open area where I can actually get the sheetrock up and installed using a lift. So yeah, it should be interesting. It should be great when it's done, and let's figure this out. interesting. It should be great when it's done, and let's figure this out. All right, well, it's definitely a little darker in there, but that honestly went about as smooth as demolition could. So definitely some more cleanup with taking nails out and things like that, but demolition is done. So that's out of the way. Now I can really just take my time and do the wiring and the lighting the way I really want to, which is gonna be the meat of this video. If you wanna learn how to do some of that wiring yourself or running lines, this is where you want to tune into. But glad that demo's out of the way. It was dirty, but it was actually really quick and a lot less painful than I thought it would be. So now I'm gonna go shower and get cleaned up because I feel gross. Sheetrock is gross. So, but we'll see you tomorrow.
The next day.
All right, it's time to take a look at why I did this in the first place. Why I go to all this effort. And you can just see right here where they ran the wiring for the plug for the garage. I've got a little a board right there. So just for me, it's going to be really hard to do that without the sheetrock on. So I've got a giant, basically workable space. Got wires that I can run up now. I can run it through the ceiling without much issue. The insulation itself looks pretty good, so that's not too bad. Got some nails to pull down for sure, but overall, this is just going to make life just a lot easier on me. So first things first, I am going to take this little wire, and I'm going to go ahead and get it into its rightful spot. I'm going to take a roto-zip, run the roto-zip down through the wall, because that's super easy to patch. And then that will be job one done. After that, it's lighting. And then finally after that, I'll be running the plug for the laser. So, but anyway, it's just really cool seeing it down. I love it. It's going to be a little bit of work, but progress.
A few moments later.
Insulation, I got to go like at least halfway up, right?
Oh boy.
That's all right. Intensely fast. That's so easy. That was great. All right, you ready? I'm gonna flip the switch. We'll see how good you are. Here we go. Not good. Oh, you are good. Look at that. And Dad said, let there be light.
There be light.
All right. Cool. One more thing. Welcome to my closet. I'm not quite sure where the distance is because there's a header underneath here. It's a little funky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to take this screw and I'm literally going to just drill it down beneath the subfloor. And we're going to see if we can find it in the garage. So wish me luck. Oh, so I got room to play. Yeah. Oh, good. All right. Well, that means we're in good shape. So that means I can put it right here and we're in good shape. Sweet, that's good news. Easy way to find your spot. And doesn't leave any trace because it's all in an interior. All right, so if you are going to install an outlet plug receptacle into existing drywall, you have your regular outlet boxes that you just nail into your 2x4. But if you use these, you're going to have to rip down a whole bunch of drywall. So instead, pay the extra money. They have little drywall ready outlet boxes where all I need to do is cut a hole in here, and then I'm just going to pop this in, and these little screws will pull it forward. So yeah, these are worth the, they cost about 4 times as much, but it's going to be worth it in drywall repair and time and labor. So, yep. I'm installing this plug high on the wall. A typical plug's going to be up 18 inches, give or take. But I'm installing this plug high because I'm actually putting in a counter in here, and I want the plug itself to be above the counter. So all you need to do, take your outlet box, trace what you want, get your handy dandy drywall saw. These bad boys will just pop in, and this just goes right into your wall. Now any doodad, gotta run some wire.
Let's run some wire.
Let's run some wire. Now we've run our wiring through, it's time to cut off the excess length. Definitely leave more than you think you need. I also suggest getting a razor blade that's not dull, but you got to cut away your outer coating of your Romex. Truth be told, dull razor blades are no bueno because they're dangerous. So person is only good as their tools. Use sharp tools. Dull tools cause injuries. There's your daily PSA. Take your box. Like a comedy of errors going on right here. Serious. Okay, that was thick plastic. Remove the back. Easily remove the back. Oh my gosh. Anyway, feed your wire through. And then box is in, box is tight. We just need to prep our wires. This is ready to have a plug installed. Of course I didn't bring it. I'm an idiot. All right, now when it comes to actually wiring your plug, it's really simple. Copper is hot, hot is black. White to silver, neutral. Tighten that down, and then finally your last wire with no coating, that's your ground. And your ground goes to the little screw on the bottom. Give it a little bend, that way in case we ever need to get it back out, we have room to work with it. last but not least, now we can go
Turn the power on.
flip the breaker. We've got a plug. Now for the big payoff. Breaker is back on. Let's see if we got power. We've got power. Yay! Okay, so part one of this project is in the books. I'm gonna call it here, and a lot got finished. Everything got torn down, cleaned up, all the wiring has been run, and so now all I need to do for part two is get this ceiling back in place, as well as I have an idea for a nice little countertop area in the closet so I can finally get my laser up and running. I'm gonna have to save that for another time. This one's already getting a little bit long, so I hope you take a chance to like, maybe subscribe, and make sure you tune in for the next one where we can finally put a stamp of completion on this project entirely, which will be awesome. As I always say, thank you so much for coming along, and I will see you on the next one.